my 27th birthday, I was talking to my mom and I heard myself say, well, why don't you write the book with me? That was the spring of 2003, and my mom was gearing up to write The Mermaid Chair, so my timing was awful. But to my surprise, she said, I'd love to. And then she paused and sounding very serious added, but Anne, I want you to be really, really sure. And I was, right up until she said that to me. A few years ago, my mom had some quotations stenciled on the stairway that lead up to her study on the second floor. I still read them from time to time when I go over there. The one at the top was by French novelist Émile Zola and says, if you ask me what I came to do in this world, I, as an artist, will answer you, I am here to live out loud. It occurred to me that writing the book with my mother could mean living a lot louder than I ever thought. It can be fairly terrifying, making yourself audible in the world and putting your voice out there. And I did suddenly feel like I was jumping off the deep end. But I'd heard my mother say that she became a novelist by diving in over her head. She was always saying things like, if you're going to err on the side of audacity. So I thought, okay, let's write this book. Recently, however, I've discovered the only thing more audacious than writing a book with my mother is going on a book tour, living out loud in person.
What Anne did not know was that it felt like jumping off the deep end for me too. I had never written a book with anyone beside myself, so this was all new territory. And as I told Anne, I'm probably going around saying things like err on the side of audacity, because that's exactly what I needed to hear all along. I think that writers tend to quote things they need to hear themselves. So it took us 3 years to write this book, which was 2 more years than it was supposed to take. Anne actually figured it up that we traveled for 40 days, and it took us 1,095 to write about the traveling. That the book tells the story in alternating chapters. So Anne and I are intersecting our stories back and forth, covering 3 trips that we took together over the course of 3 years, to Greece and Turkey, and then to France, and then back to Greece. This is a mother-daughter memoir. But if you wanted to, you could also read this as a travel story. The traveling was extraordinarily profound for both of us. This was a very transitional time in our lives where things were transforming very fast during those 3 years. And Anne and I were visiting places that were really evoking a lot of these changes. So they were catalytic in themselves. I think you could say that Anne and I were on a creative quest, both of us, on a spiritual quest. And these are certainly motifs in the book, writing and creativity and spirituality. The book covers that 3-year period when I was trying to decide to become a novelist. And carrying around this seed of an idea for The Secret Life of Bees, and discovering the icon of the Black Madonna, which was very important because it turned up in The Secret Life of Bees as a rather significant, almost like a character. When the book opens, it is the summer of 1998. I was turning 50 years old, and Anne was newly graduated from college. The 2 of us go off to Greece together, ostensibly to mark these 2 milestones in our lives. However, this classic mother-daughter struggle that I tried to describe earlier was beginning to be stirred up by these very same milestones that we were going over there to celebrate. Anne had been off at college, and frankly, a lot of silence and distance had set in our relationship. We were definitely at a crossroads. out about it. And it was during this very first trip that it became apparent to me how much I was longing to reconnect with a daughter I barely knew.